Before we dive into some Cowboys OTA winners and losers with the public OTAs all wrapped up, if you want minicamp coverage of the Dallas Cowboys when that gets going next week, show it by liking today's video. I think it'd be pretty cool if we could break the monthly high so far, which is almost 2,000 likes. There's going to be a lot more than 2,000 people who watch today's show, so please and thank you. Like today's video. Let's dive into some winners. We've got 10 winners. There's some cheating on this one, but that's what makes it fun, right? First up is Kaiir Elam, the cornerback. He has drawn praise consistently throughout OTAs. Every single day when the media is present at OTAs and they mention the notes, the takeaways, it's Kaiir Elam, broke a pass, broke up 2 passes, whatever. He is in line to be one of the short-term starters at corner. We'll see where Deron Bland lines up. That's obviously one of them, whether it's inside or outside. I think one of the other outside corners probably ends up being, at least as it sits right now, stuff changes. We'll see when and what Savone Revel's injury status looks like. But the hope here is a change of scenery goes a significant amount of way to making Elam look more like the first-round pick that he was and gets him playing at a higher level than what he was in Buffalo. Corner in general, as I've mentioned before, does have me a little bit worried. How about the 2 starting linebackers? It's Jack Sanborn and Kenneth Murray right now. Both, I think, pretty clearly ahead of Maurice Liufau with what's been said. Both these guys have been getting the vast majority of the reps with the ones. Murray coming over in the trade from Tennessee. Might have some green dot abilities. Jack Sanborn could have that potentially as well. He's coming over from the Bears as a free agent signing. It's kind of a waiting game until DeMarvion Overshown is healthy and able to return, but Sanborn and Murray kind of quickly with the new regime at linebacker, or defensively when it comes to linebackers, I should say, kind of taking control of that spot. Let's go to Dak Prescott. First big reason why he's a winner here, essentially a full participant at OTAs. He hasn't technically been cleared yet for contact, but there is no contact, so there's not necessarily anything to be cleared for. Has done plenty of moving and running. Looks like everything is good on that front, which I think is a positive thing. He also, of course, like personal life-wise, had the birth of his second daughter. I think that's a pretty big win. And off topic, kind of, sort of, I do like the kind of, sort of shooting sleeve Dak look. It's not all the way there because it doesn't go all the way down. It's like the normal sleeves that kind of get cut off and then much shorter on the right side. I do think shooting sleeve on quarterbacks looks great. I mean, it's partially why Zach Wilson, the Jets thought he was good. Like the vibes were high there. I kind of want to see him do more of that. The big thing for Dak, you got to stay healthy. Too much time missed over the past couple of seasons. I am worried about the injuries. Because there's not a lot you can control. Like it happens sometimes. It's how it goes. Human body is not built for football necessarily. So what is your confidence level? And I want you to be honest here because I'm worried about it. In Dak Prescott staying healthy. 1 to 10 is your scale. It's the pinned comment on today's show. So go vote right now. Back to defense. How about Juanyeh Thomas, the safety? There's been a bunch of injuries at safety. And no, Malik Hooker missed Tuesday's practice with back spasms. He'll be fine. Marquise Bell's not out there. Donovan Wilson's not out there. So that leaves Juanyeh Thomas getting a ton of reps with the ones. And he's kicked some into nickel corner in some packages. And he's kind of getting a lot of early reps out there in team drills with the new coaching staff when others aren't. That could go a long way. So I would not sleep on Juanyeh Thomas this year, who at minimum is going to make your 53-man roster and be a key special teams contributor as he's been in the past. Hoping this one ends up staying this way, but Tyler Guyton, the second-year left tackle out of Oklahoma, Brian Schottenheimer has gone out of his way to mention him, saying, I'd be remiss to mention if I didn't mention Guyton. He's having a jerk-off season. He's working his ass off. He looks great. I think some of the new things that Clayton Adams and Connor Riley have brought really fit him. He has not missed a day. He was one of the first guys back in the building. He knows how important this year is for him. Looks great playing at a high level. Guyton took accountability as well for saying, I didn't play as well as I needed to last year. I'm locked in. I know I have to do more, have to be better. I appreciate that. It's all talk in June and May, but still, I'd rather have the talk than no talk, right? Let's hope it continues, because he kind of started off training camp pretty well and then kind of faded as the year went along, it seemed like, at least during practices. So hope it continues, because you need a Guyton to be good at left tackle, or else a lot of the stuff on offense gets a lot more murky. There's only one series left in the basketball playoffs, and the championship is officially on the line. That means time is running out for you to put your final takes to the test on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. It's available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. It is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join the millions of users, and you pick more or less for at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. One of our basketball finals Prize Picks slates here. Miles Turner, more than just 5 boards. Thunder aren't an elite rebounding team, frankly. Tyrese Halliburton, less than 17.5 points. I think he's going to have a very difficult time with some of those Thunder guards on defensively. And then SGA, our free throw merchant, more than 10.5 free throws attempted. If you haven't already, go download the Prize Picks app today. It's over at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Then make sure you use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's CLNS over at prizepicks.com/CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Let's move on with some winners here. How about Miles Sanders? Last 2 publicly open OTAs or media open OTAs. He's drawn praise for how he's looked. Again, it's June. There's no pads on. It kind of favors the explosive, speedy guys because there's no pads on. There's no contact. But you still want to have something positive coming out of that backfield right now. Jaden Blue's got a lot of work with the 2s. Javante's had work with the 1s alongside Miles Sanders. This is by no means settled. There's a long way to go. But somebody has to step up. And if it's Miles Sanders, I don't consider that a bad thing either. Brian Schottenheimer. We have a full video on this coming tomorrow, so make sure you guys are locked in for that. But I do think the stuff that Schotty can control so far, the things we can judge him on so far, have all been pretty good. Does that mean it works? No, of course not. Is it better than things having bad vibes already? Absolutely. It is the honeymoon period. It should be going well, but I think he seems to have a plan. Players seem to like him. All that's a good thing. Let's go to the fullback, Hunter Luepke. We're going to do the I'd be remiss if I didn't mention tracker for Brian Schottenheimer. He mentioned, obviously, Tyler Guyton. He mentioned Kaiir Elam, Miles Sanders, kind of. He was asked about them. And then, mentioned how they're the right type of guy for the Cowboys. So that kind of only half counts. The first one he did was Hunter Luepke. I'd be remiss when I talk about Hunter Luepke. Again, unprompted, out of his way. He's playing some running back for us, playing some fullback, some tight end, and all he does is do everything well. I feel like Luepke is just like the guy the coaches always love. Like, just in. Like, they love the effort, they love the attitude, they love the positional flexibility, the running, the catching, the blocking, and, of course, the core special teams ability. He's making this team. I feel pretty good about that one. I want you guys to name a Cowboys OTA winner for me. Let me know in the comments of today's video. Next up, Toia, the defensive tackle. It is OTAs, it is June. I don't want to overreact to stuff. I do think it is worth mentioning that he got some work with the 1s at defensive tackle. I don't think this means he's replacing Mozzie Smith tomorrow. I do think it means, hey, he's got a very real chance and should be viewed as the favorite to be working ahead of Justin Rogers, who was the 7th-round pick last year and then came back very late in the season after spending time in Cincinnati. So somebody's got to step up, and frankly, it's somebody's. Hopefully, Toia can be that guy. And then there's Tyler Booker, the right guard. And I appreciate the Cowboys are doing this. They're not really messing around when it comes to reps on the offensive line. Like, not every single one. It's June. You shuffle guys in and out a lot. But most of those first-team reps are going to Booker at right guard. No more nonsense of like, oh, well, you got to earn it. You got to show you've got it first. Like, he's your best right guard. We all know he's a first-round pick, top 15 guy. Put him out there. Don't play games and waste time. Make him earn the star or whatever if you want to, but put him out there with the 1s. Let's not waste potential chemistry growth to make the rookies earn it. Now, we are in a sub-battle this month against Giants. Now, they do have a nice 169, but still you'd like more. We are, 60-some, 66 away. Let's change that. Hit that sub button and get more free Cowboys YouTube videos each and every single day. Let's talk losers from Cowboys organized team activities. And first up is the Micah Parsons contract saga. A good note from Clarence Hill on this one, who tweeted it out, but it's just going to look better in a quote. Clarence Hill tweeting, Parsons asked the Cowboys to talk to his agent, David Mulgeta. The Cowboys have yet to do that, so no progress has been made. Stephen Jones said he had nothing to report when asked about Parsons on, it's actually Tuesday. And when questions continued about Parsons, his contract, and his absence from OTAs, Jones tersely replied that he would end the interview if he received any more queries on the subject. So your superstar player, Micah Parsons, has asked the Cowboys to talk to his agent. The Cowboys have not done that. Media asked Stephen Jones about it, and Stephen gets all defensive and doesn't want to talk about it. You know what's a great way to not have to talk about the lack of a contract for your best player? Is to give him the contract. What are we doing here? Why again are we playing these stupid games like one of the parties is some psycho ex-girlfriend? Why? Why are we doing this? Just call the agent, man. Just pick up the phone and call him. You're so worried about losing the deal and you lose leverage. You ain't got any. You have no leverage. You're paying him a massive figure. There's nothing you can do to change that. It doesn't matter. You want to pay him. You have made that so clear. You pretty much know what it's going to cost because you had the secret meetings on the side that aren't secret anymore. Just pay him. Be done with it. Get it done before training camp so it's not a constant distraction. I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm tired of it. Even the Niners figured it out this year. Why can't you do the same? Well, Steven, for me, is one of your losers again because here we are doing that crap again. Name a Cowboys OTA loser. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Next up is Trevon Diggs, and there's some interesting discussions to be had here on Diggs. So, great notes from ESPN, others, it's all available on, I think, Over the Cap too. Trevon Diggs has to participate in a little over 84% of the Cowboys' offseason program, or there is a de-escalator clause in his contract that would cost him $500,000 in salary. Diggs has done his rehab away from the team. That does not count for the offseason program. They would have to rehab under the specific guidance of the Cowboys training camp. So he's not in line to hit that benchmark. He's not set to get there. So he's going to lose $500,000. The relationship between Diggs, the Cowboys, and I think there's disagreements as to who's to blame for the second injury from Diggs' viewpoint and the Cowboys training staff viewpoint. It doesn't appear to be the best right now. I think there's friction between Diggs, the Cowboys / the staff, and Diggs' camp, and I don't like that. I think the general vibe we're at, and things can change, is that we're trending towards Diggs' last year in Dallas. That we are on the path of this is just not going to be a relationship that continues beyond 2025. And my concern is that it gets a little bit messier before that. Because, I don't think the timing of those reports about the money were accidental. It just happened to come out right at the end of OTAs. Both Clarence Hill, Todd Archer all doing that. Not that there's active intentional leaks, but, feels non-coincidental, And I assume Trevon Diggs shows up for minicamp to at least rehab and stuff. But he could skip minicamp and still pay less than what he's going to miss out with this de-escalator clause. Well, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. He's I'm going to rehab on my own because, perhaps correctly, he thinks it's better for his long-term status as a football player. These are the fines, by the way, if that happens. So there's just a lot we don't know right now about where Diggs is going to be this upcoming season, and the lack of clarity makes me a little bit nervous. So will Diggs be a Cowboy in 2026? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments of today's video. Be honest, Dante Fowler rocking 13 now. I don't think that's a good number for an edge rusher. Hats off to just swap jerseys with Pickens and not have chaos there. But I think 13 is kind of a bad number. Unless you get 13 sacks, in which case it's a great number. And then finally, injured guys, guys that aren't full participants right now. DeMarvion Overshown working his way back from his knee rehab. Lots of knee rehabs, aren't there? Overshown and Diggs and Butler and Savone Revel and Donovan Wilson. Carson and Bell coming back from shoulder surgeries. Hooker had back spasms. Don't know why Shamar James, Andrew Booth missed last open OTAs. In theory, they're good for minicamp, but we'll see. That's all defenders, by the way. And I don't know the exact number of defenders on your roster. It's probably more than 40. That's 10 of them right there. That's a lot of guys not practicing. Oh, and Sam Williams, too. Now, I do think this is kind of on the positive side. I think he's closer to returning than some of the other guys on that list. And that makes sense. He had the earliest injury there. Also looks physically bigger. Hopefully that pays off for him in 2025.